the barrel, the snap is magnetic. Second puts them away.
Vem round do MIBR. MIBR tava do lado. Cortesia!
It's been 84 years. But we're back. And there's Sentinels having a much-needed conversation because they were up 9-3. And once Jamie, our incredible jib operator, swings his camera around, you're going to see the score. 1929, 1921. That's a year.
The year that Jamie was born.
The year I was born, 1921. And let me tell you, that year didn't really pop off.
The roaring 20s, though.
Well, it depends who you are.
Yeah.
In any case, so now, let's go ahead and dive into that matchup. That's my one topical thing for today. Let's talk about Aspas, because guess what, folks? He hit 2,000 kills. Holy crap,
in this
Mimi.
one map, actually.
His first kill got him to 2,000 of all time in Americas. And now I was like, well, Aspas actually hasn't had that good of a match so far. And then he turns up, opping everywhere. Part of the reason that they're able to make a ridiculous comeback. This was, think back, this was 9-3 at the half. Sen should have closed this out 3-0, easy peasy, booked a ticket to Masters Bangkok.
Yeah.
They won 3 rounds on their defensive half in regulation, and they only won defensive rounds when we got to overtime, which is insane.
Ludicrous.
Upside down world.
Least fake comeback of all time.
The realest comeback.
The least fake comeback of all time. I mean, yeah, a ludicrous amount of Valorant being played. I just had to check my mic pack that it was on. So I don't know if I turned it off at some point during that. I don't know if I was coming through live, but it's insanity that MIBR have managed to bring this back. The amount of mental resilience that this requires, it can't be understated. And now they've brought themselves this lifeline that they can go into split.
And spit.
And spit.
Yeah, that too.
I'm the one who spit.
This team is Aspas and friends, but the friends are doing damn well in this game. He picked these tier 2 players, pitched them to MIBR, and Shenom was phenomenal in this game.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, where's Van Silly?
He was. 33
Same joke.
29 on Cortesia as well. Like, those guys were popping, but, I mean...
Was he Corta awesome?
That doesn't even make
that
sense.
That doesn't make sense.
Right, okay.
Mine made sense.
I'll show you some of the rounds that were part of the breakdown, right? Like part of the way in which MIBR was able to come back. They were running these B executes.
What year was this?
This was so long ago. This was round 18. This is round 18, 19. They did this around 21 as well. They were abusing the B defensive Sentinels. Now they made adaptations in overtime, but this was how Sen ended up letting things slip. They would just exec into B, a retake setup, fall really deep back over towards these B lines. They even ran a fake later on in, I think, like round 22 or 3 or something.
Who remembers?
Yeah, who the hell remembers? But the point was that this B defense looked like a big gap that MIBR realized, noticed, and abused. Credit to Artesine for figuring this out, because this shouldn't have been a possible comeback, even with as well as Aspas and Shenom were playing.
I want to give credit to Zelsis in overtime, though, because I think he really figured out how to play as that B anchor later on in this half. He did a really good job of varying where his thorns and his wall was set up and getting more proactive, playing into the smoke ahead of MIBR's utility. And a lot of his rounds on B, anchoring, put Sen in a position to push this OT as long as it went.
Yeah, I mean, and it went an absurd distance. But at the same time, the longer it goes, we saw a reaction from Zelsis during one of these rounds.
Where he got knifed.
Where he got knifed, and he slams the table, and he's super mad
Happened to
about
me
it.
after my last
And then, the more and more time that the overtime goes on, the more Sen are starting to believe, like, wait,
Holy crap, look at it!
Look at the graphic, Josh.
It's ridiculous.
So our team was trying to figure out whether or not we could smush all the rounds in there. Turns out graphics team, job done.
That's impressive.
It scales nicely.
I swear, though, this is going to do psychic damage to Sen.
Yeah, it's got to, man. You were 9-3 up at a half. 9-3 up at a half.
It would be the most funniest thing. It really would.
We're actually going to split. They play double duelist here with Aspas and Artesine, and they've actually been frying, and we've only seen...
That is
Sen
the
play
worst
once.
9-3 curse in the history of 9-3 curses, I would say.
This will be a historic loss if Sen end up losing this series off that game.
Well, let's refocus then. Let's talk about split. Let's get ready for this one because, you know, last time we were seeing the double duelists from MIBR. We saw some interesting ideas from them on this one. So, well, older but good ideas.
But very well executed,
Very
right?
well
This
executed.
is like the pinnacle for me of MIBR's simple old ideas executed very well.
Yeah.
I think the pathing of the double dive agents between Artisan and Osboss on their attacking side is very nice, the way they're splitting into heavens. Teams aren't really used to playing against this these days, and they've clearly taken advantage of that, on top of just insane mechanics.
I also thought that when we were looking at how they specifically tied things in, what you were talking about, the ante, right?
Yeah.
They were doing a lot of Artisan would go up mid, while the rest of them took a ramp and flanked around. That puts crazy pressure on the Vents player, which is often going to be Zelsis, if I remember correctly, with how Sentinels like to run their composition. He's had an amazing game today, but he also is like a potential weak point of some of their comps because he tends to play like a bit more alone or a bit more in a heavy anchor position.
Not just that, I mean, MIBR have been prone as well to put an execs onto the mid player. Hard anchoring into that spot over and over again. They were doing against crew themselves as well. So I think that is going to put a lot of pressure. How much can one man take? We're going to see the desk. The desk is barely hanging on. He was slamming onto that.
SEN has another iPad baby comp here where they're playing the tail. They're playing a lot of agents that need to have the utility in hand. This comp breaks those timings and is going to force SEN into a lot of fights that I think could be advantageous to MIBR. This is a great map for them coming out of that OT win.
I can say this much. At this point of the competition, for MIBR, really, I think you're just playing with house money. You were down 9-3 going into the half, down 2-0 in this series. Wasn't looking that great for you, and then out of nowhere, 40 rounds later, no big whoop, you get the dub. Now you got to try and force Sentinels, well, to kind of cave on this split. It's going to be quite difficult, folks. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, can MIBR force map 5, or will Sentinels go to Bangkok? We'll see you then.
Another
I'll take that.
Well, our third map of this series, Pearl, looked like it was about to play out exactly the same way as the first two. A 9-3 lead for Sentinels into the half-time, and what followed was something we never could have expected, Wyatt.
I'm still trying to catch my breath just a bit. Listen, we got the Red Bulls, we got the tea. We're getting back into the zone for this next map. Split, a pick of MIBR, where this double duelist look has been so sick, man. I've loved watching Art Zin play so aggressively, the pathing he has with his double satchels, and how it allows Osboss on attack to be that second guy in, trading off of him. And then you have Osboss alive in the late rounds. I think it really puts him in the exact positions where he's going to excel. So it's going to be tough for SEN to shut that down. They are going to be beginning on attacker, though, with the comp that the desk talked about, neither team switching things up. And this is where SEN most recently beat the other best Brazilian team in Loud.
Yep. And this is obviously where we get to see Sentinels with their Tejo Breach combo, right? So you do have a setup that can allow you to lay that util and catch people out, have them dead to rights. I mean, on the defense side, I'd be scared of being in B Heaven for MIBR. That's a place where you can really easily put that util together.
Absolutely. You do not want to be in a position where you're going to get fault lined by Narrate into the guiding salvos by John QT. Going down in that situation, just the ultimate frustration of playing against this comp.
So, after the longest match in VCT Americas history, what is left in the tank for these two?
I mean, it's got to be a lot more frustrating for SEN than MIBR, I'll tell you that. That was an exhausting map for them.
Yep. Tough to lose.
Every time on defense here with the double duelist Artisan and Osboss, they always pick up the double sheriff. They've got that right now, and they want a triple swing, MIBR. Face towards A main.
They're going to overload ramp here. This is a split SEN comp right now. They don't have everyone quite together, and John gets some damage on Nosma.
And now they don't have that utility for when the spike is going to be attempted to be defused by MIBR. No missiles.
But Nosma is the only player that can't be healed up in this team.
Well, they hear the Narrate is on the run.
Okay, can still aftershock this, maybe start to force MIBR out into the field. Nosma goes first. He's the one that was lowest. Bang here into the poison cloud. Snaps on Artisan. Stick together now, playing ones and twos as second. Trends to the right. Nosma now out of the picture. Aspas in with the Sheriff. And he takes a commanding lead in this situation. Shenum, though, out in the open, has to try and defuse from there. Listen to the pings, there's no time left. And Sentinels able to lock it down here in the first round of split.
And as is going to be the case, SEN just have so much post-plant delay. That's even with John going down. But you have to give credit to the narrate micro play where he decided to not attempt to trade off of John. He just ran away into sewers after this, was making all that noise. And you could see on the minimap while the rest of MIBR were trying to scale in, Osbos was just sitting there waiting for him to come back up ropes. That wasted maybe 5-6 seconds of Osbos time, and then he had to run to the site. And at that point, you're cooked. They are planted for heaven. It's a great round from SEN and a great decision from Narrate.
And it's a round that means so much to SEN. You can see it. Velsa's on his feet after a pistol. Clearly they've got some devils to fight after that last game.
Yeah, they don't want to be shook by how disastrous that loss was on Pearl. With a map just going to the distance in that way, and then you lose, that can deplete your mental completely.
Oh, you made the wrong choice, Aspas. A 50-50 that goes the way of Zekken. Out with the clone. And out with the ace from MIBR.
And second, with that ghost, you want your star duelist Yoru to just run around the map. They give him the plant as well. They play around this dimensional drift as a constant win con. We saw that so much on Pearl.
Cortesia is picked up here in sewer. Now we'll just wait the rest of this round out. Genom
didn't even matter. Fight or die, he got his orb, and now he has his ult for the bonus.
Again, getting that by round 3 once more. It was thwarted a little bit by MIBR on Pearl. A couple of those dimensional drift rounds didn't quite go off without a hitch, but in the overwhelming majority of cases, Sentinels have been able to find a way to use it, your ultimate, to win a round.
SEN, they basically get the exact value that they want out of this round. They only lose one player. It was the Ghost. Zekken wants to go down anyway to get his ult. So pretty much picture perfect from their side so far. Everything going according to plan. And this is the kind of round as well where when you're trying to get that ult into Zekken's hands that...
I just saw what he bought. We're doing this again.
Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no.
We're headed down to Bucky's, folks.
He's got the Bucky.
And again, we've seen it in the past, just the emerging from the dimensional drift with the cover of a flash. Maybe it's going to be a play in towards B Heaven with that Bucky. We'll see. The same Viper wall, though, is going to be over at A. Where are we headed?
Gatecrash is going up ramp. He actually just immediately teleports into it.
He's trying to go fast here. Get as much out of his drift as he can. Try and canvas this map.
He's a proper body block.
He's a proper cartographer.
Now
trying to see it all.
He pops out. Oh, and he gets his. At least it's traded by Nas. We're fast.
Info, though, is good. Look at SEN scaling in behind this dimensional drift. Noswa is about to be pressured down, and the paranoia renders him sightless. He literally never sees what hits him. It's aftershock here from Shenom. He's just outside of it. So far, John and Narrate are taking their sweet time. Shenom is someone you have to respect in this situation. You need to expend util potentially to win this fight.
They don't have any util to get onto Shenom.
Well,
it's
that's
just
a bad one.
duels.
That's a problem. Narrate those ever swing it. Here's his buy round for MIBR that's about to go up in a cloud of smoke. Unless Aspas has something to say.
We saw him get a 1v2 clutch with the operator. This 1v3, though, feels impossible with the positioning that SEN have right now on the map.
Would be a notch above, for sure. And Aspas tries, and Zelsis is waiting for him. Hungrily devours the star player.
And the bonus round strat with the dimensional drift works exactly as Kaplan drew it up. Maybe for the first time, releasing the grip a little bit on 4Cuber and feeling less stressed.
Bro, what is in that water that Zelsis is chugging? 6-0. Standout player for a 4th consecutive map.
Determined to win
Man, he
at
wants
all
it.
costs. And you could see that by the emotion he was showing on Pearl. I believe it was in that 1v2 that Osbos won, where he was more than frustrated, slamming his desk.
Oh, yes.
He's just so passionate in all ways emotionally about the game when he's playing.
It's a double-edged sword there, Wyatt.
So that side of him just doesn't come out as much. He's been so good today, though.
Yep.
I mean, if SEN win this series, he is the easy MVP for their side. It's no question.
If I'm Rob Moore, I'm getting the Palanquin ready. Carry him off stage in style. Still more work to be done before we can think about that outcome. John sends the drone in. Okay, does catch on to Cortesia there and rope.
Artsin forced to literally push back by the missiles, and now SEN can gain that space for free with the clone going forward. Flash through.
Artsin's right where he needs to be with his Bucky. Second gets a taste of his own medicine from the prior.
Oh, just awkward when he's trying to drop there. The crosshair just not positioned properly.
Okay,
Had a
still
chance for two.
stalwart presence here for the defenders in heaven. Noswell is able to stop them in their tracks.
All the
we drift
while.
to A.
Yeah, it's off Celsius just present.
But has he seen enough?
The orb.
Has he gotten enough real estate?
30 seconds left.
Narrate throws out a last-second flash towards Mail, just saying, hey, we might be showing up over there, Noswer. You got to be careful.
It keeps Aspas watching drop as well as here comes the push. Cortesia has to get ahead, of course, of the salvos and shows himself instantly. It's a very uncomfortable spot to be in, trying to anchor this site against this Teo breach comp. But he lives. He buys time.
They just can't get the kill on him.
Eventually he drops. Time bought, but Spike already down. Aspas with the rifle here. Will likely link up with Shenom, who will attempt to gain control of Heaven.
Will there be a way for Shenom to kind of be the human drone, a piece of bait for Aspas? No, it's just not going to happen.
It's just a game of whack-a-mole at that point. This is pretty smooth sailing for SEN. Again, they sort of start these maps so well. Sensational Shenom. Might have an opportunity here. John spotted. Salvos not in his direction, but it's a stinger. Lets him down there as Narrate chalks 3 for the round.
At least gets 1 at the end. MIBR, for their hopes in this half, need to keep some kind of lid on the SEN economy that is really getting out of control. Someone already at max money I saw just then. This is the pivotal moment in the round. That drop from Artsin, it just disrupted his crosshair placement. It was really awkward.
Good round, Marsh. And that's orb maxing because he got 3.
And they are definitely playing to the orbs. They are orb maxing. Aspas on that glass cannon operator now. Second round he's done that. And if you consider Pearl OT, this is the 40th round he's had a glass cannon off on D.
Okay, Artsin with an audacious peek there.
The man is taking so many first engagements. Artisan has not slowed down at all. Pearl North split.
I mean, his evolution as a player from his attempt at duelist at the start of last year has been palpable. He's the genuine article, folks.
MIBR would not be MIBR without him. He's doing so much for this team.
All right, so some control of Heaven here for SEN, enough at least to get them into drop. Aspas playing to receive a contact pick up mid. Not necessarily from drop, though, so he's going to reposition and hedge his bets a little more. Good spot to be in right now. Timing doesn't work against him.
And he doesn't need to fully give this up either. Cortesia fighting in Heaven is traded out, but does at least net 1 to maintain man advantage for MIBR as Aspas rotates to a more passive position. They're giving up a lot of the map, but they feel content with that, given their advantage.
MIBR satisfied here with splitting the map 2 and 2. It's going to take some contortionism for Sentinels to emerge successful from a round like this, and Narrate may have just caught onto that Astra. Fault line follow-up. It's good. Aspas up against it. Narrate knows there's a player on the off angle, so we'll have to settle for a bit of damage here on the jet. Oh, that's dangerous! You've got to respect this man. Aspas felt he was covered by Shenom. And I get it, but it all falls flat. Artsin finds a good timing though, and it is up 2 once again.
Able to get the heal as well. This reposition from John is cheeky. He dodges the flash.
Not spotted out. No ping sound. Oh, it's perfect! It could have been anyway. Artsin on the way down, though, does deal John QT a mortal blow. Operator recovered. Spike diffused. Round on the board finally for MIBR.
Artisan going for an almost Asuna-esque kill onto John QT, getting some potential PTSD from that game when he got shot down from Austin on the rope. Artisan steps up massively in this round. Opening kill, then finds the timing to kill Narrate. And clutches out 1v1. What more can you ask from your IGL?
It's a hard-fought round, though. That was a 2 versus 4, favoring MIBR.
Just don't spill the coffee on the keyboard, man.
Yeah.
We don't need a tech pause.
It's a tough one. Again, Sentinels seem hungry.
Interesting. We've got the op over to Shenom right now. Aspas using the Blade Storm. Shenom on Pearl. His attack side opping. But turn the game
at
around.
his back here. Does John see this? He has to. Aspas might have overextended. He's a little bit awkward now, and yes, punished for his sins. Wade measured, found wanting in this round. And Cortesia will be lit by this drone.
Can't use any of that util at the moment. He's just hard holding the angle, has a rotation from his teammate, and really needs to get out of the way of the fault line.
Oh, they know Noswa has to be there. It's a process of elimination. It's simple at this point.
Oh, the stun is just perfect.
And just as the SS MIBR submarine comes up for air, they get that one around, and they'll be sent back down to the economic doldrums.
It's as you said at the top of the game, the positions like that on defense for MIBR, trying to hold in B heaven, the fault line just connects with all of that when you send it through Ramen from Narrate's point of view and then into the missiles. You're just cooked.
It's not,
in
and they're
that
not
region.
laid perfectly, right? They don't happen at the same time. So it's not like there's kill potential, but they're staggered out so that area is denied for twice the amount of time. They trade the kill potential for the map control.
Now, you know, obviously MIBR, they're trying to play in front of that by taking the fight to SEN, but that Osboss play down mid goes completely awry. There's no chance of Artisan saving a better weapon at this point.
And I wonder if if that's from the VODs, because SEN are really set up to have a crossfire on that from Ramen and from Sewers respectively. They were ready.
Now, are they going to take... No, I don't think they're going to take the off. It looked like Zekken was considering it. He had it in his hands.
Celsius could have taken it in round 3 when he got Aspas there back in Defender Spawn. He opted not to. They didn't want it.
Yeah, just thinking about potentially maybe they do on account of the aggression from MIBR. You could just post up on an angle and get a free pick perhaps, but they're finding so much success with their style, with the rifling, and Zekken being super active, getting in deep. Their gameplay doesn't really need an op for them to be successful. That is just sort of a hard counterplay, but why switch things up? It isn't broke. Don't fix it. They're up 5-1, and they have 5 ults to play with out of this timeout. 5. Like, MIBR are going to be on an eco. The subsequent round, they're going to get bombarded by everything. Dimensional Drift into Rolling Thunder into Armageddon, and then a Viper Spit in the post plant. GG, man. That round is
look at
cooked.
the send money. Zekken's also planning to use his Dimensional Drift this round. He's brought up the Bucky, which is something that we used to see on a rare occasion from like Oxy last year, right? One of the players was really trying to, do that. Now it's much more common. And Zekken's looks pretty terrifying.
Very good gun for 850.
Yep.
Very good gun, but regardless, I mean, at this point, I'm looking at this game and just thinking about the experience difference from these two teams, despite Sentinels bringing in Narrate and Bang to replace. If there's ever a Valorant Hall of Fame, you have 2 first ballot Hall of Famers in Tens and Saucy. And these two guys have come in to replace them, but still between them, a lot of experience over the past couple of years with Bank's tenure with 100 Thieves and Narrate actually making it to Madrid last year with Carmine Core. These guys have the experience, and then you're looking at an MIBR of Osboss team building, plucking these talented players from challengers that they're not used to this situation. They're not used to going the distance like this. Even with that loss on Pearl SEN, they've already come right back into this. They're looking so good on this attack side.
Zekken hoping for some extra upside on the Bucky in case someone pushed in. Doesn't actually gate crash during this Dimensional Drift. He's left it back this time. Oh, he's got into elbow. Oh, this side is completely under control of SEN. So it's not a kill that results of the use of the Dimensional Drift, but full control of this side. However, there is a showstopper here for Artisan and a Cosmic Divide for Shenum to break this side up, but this looks oppressive regardless.
And if things get dangerous, you can see Narrate's position low on the minimap. He could send out a lethal Rolling Thunder just to seal the deal, in case MIBR maybe find a pick here.
There's no reason for MIBR not to go for this. They're going to buy in the next anyway. Aspas, or Artisan rather, maybe with the judge might not consider that, but he's gone very low. Zekken's clone.
At this point, MIBR, they're just down to try and do some damage. Bucky, not the biggest investment, so gonna feel fine to lose that one. Cortezio one onto Celsius.
Are they gonna get out with these guns? Awkward. Just a rate walking away from that one.
They'll take it. I mean, it's ultimately, in the moment, doesn't matter too much, given SEN are all sitting at like 5k each.
That is true. But it is an anti-eco that they spent 2 ultimates in already.
Right, and it gets them closer to their ultimates, getting some of those kills as well, and now they have the advantage in that regard. Still, hopes of getting SEN on an eco of their own at any point. That's going to be challenging.
Those are not looking great. You've got both Initiator ultimates still ready to go here for Sentinels.
Osboss with the Operator. He's posted up. Right now, over towards a ramp. Opportunity to get a First blood here, no doubt.
Viper's Pit through mid here for MIBR.
That's a great orb thrown up there from Zelsis to obscure that point of view. And then immediately the drone after to further get info,
And they're
force the
scaling
player
in behind
back.
his util wire.
This is excellent. They've just nullified Ospas' attempt to get an opener.
Oh, this is a bit awkward now. Flash, that's deadly for Aspas. He has to get out. He's been allowed to escape, but the Rolling Thunder has cleared this A side. Armageddon also committed to the same effect.
MIBR, oh, Nazwar finds a kill as well. He has Secrets to get back into this. They've got a showstopper for Artin to double satchel in.
This is
really
awkward.
open the site up.
Johnny's out on the site, and Heaven is not under the control of Sentinels. MIBR have fought back into it. And this Viper Wall means that they've got to get aggressive at some point to save John, but Aspas is able to ring that operator out. Here's the showstopper. Artin goes to clear. No more Sentinels presence left on the A side, and Cortesia's judge will close it out.
Love that from MIBR. Swarming back in Heaven, countering the SEN ults with all of the ults of their own on the wave after the fact to retake. Sure, they used 4 of them, but they won the round, and they needed that round. Economically, it was a must. How does he keep doing this?
He's done that a couple times this series.
It's the second time he's done that.
It's a little wrong.
Check his PC.
Again, at that point, Sentinels don't have the util to fight for Heaven anymore. And they've already left John on an island.
Yeah, they wanted to wrap around. The spike wasn't even planted for Heaven, so things definitely got a little awkward with John stuck on site. You know, they could have tried to get a pick, maybe rewrap to main. Regardless, not going to hang on to history. Center trying to go quickly again. Ospas, immediate punish from the flash. He just is not being offered these angles he wants to hold.
He thinks because he wasn't seen the previous round, he can go for it again. It doesn't work out. Sen have read Aspas multiple times on this map. They're shutting down MIBR's star player.
These heavy executes are just so potent with the initiators that they've got. Can Zelsis win that out? No, it's Artzin, but an instant trade from Zekin.
The rates there as well as a redundancy if needed. Still Heaven control for MIBR. That elbow though, occupied by 2 SEN players, and there's a player there at drop. This is a tough nut to crack for MIBR. And there's Zekin finding 3. Oh, you better give him the 8s now, come on. 4 kills for Zekin.
Man who is no stranger to finding aces on split. If he gets it, that'll get him another ult as well, by the way.
Shenom, I mean, again, could afford to lose his weapon, but why?
Zekin on this map has been a force. Sentinels might not even be in this position if it weren't for him stepping up against the Loud team that were looking to upset them. That is Zekin 1v5 ace in that game. May have changed the entire complexion of this tournament.
They did right. The whole damn thing. Filthy done though. Again, this round starts with the shutdown of Aspas, who looks for that audacious operator peek on ramp.
That's 2 rounds in a row he went for that peek on ramp, and the utility play from Sen cancels out that angle entirely.
And he tried like a Blade Storm push down mid that was also shut down.
The proactivity is not working out at the moment. It's just tough to play those positions, because if you get hit by that early util that is so strong, if you're in the fault line, in the Yoru flash, you have the missiles coming in, or there's a paranoia combo, there's a million different pieces of util that can be synced up to crush players on defense that are in those close-up spaces at barrier drop. It's a major concern when you're up against this Sentinel composition, excuse me. Unnecessary timeout here.
But I mean, you've blown through both of them now.
I think this MIBR team with this comp and their playstyle, we are expecting them to be better on attack, but sort of the discussion we were having back on Abyss, it's a matter of getting enough rounds to win when they get to the favored side. That's how Sentinels lost to G2. They couldn't get enough on the bad side, so it didn't even matter that they had a better attack. They need that buffer desperately. Ospas, operator, again, he's really trying to make this work.
He's not going to be in the right part of the map, though, to get any early action.
And Sen have said, why not just hit A again? There were about 6 different pings placed by Sen in A Heaven and ramp, by the way, with this fault line
and they're being
ready to go. Drone, teleport, stun.
Gate crashing behind it.
Easy ramp control.
It's standard fare here for Sen.
The stun didn't even need to get used. Zekin gets all of the space for free. MIBR, they're just scared now to even play there. And they should be.
Potentially the first line of defense here. Flash goes down ropes. So holds that position, but Second is, well, he's taking liberties here. Oh, does what? The timing! It couldn't have gone worse for him. That's a heartbreaker.
This round is just done. It's over. MIBR have to save. They can't go for this. It's just not possible. I love how SEN play these post plants, and even though it's not like he's the one getting all of the kills, Narrate has been really influential in the late rounds, playing very slow in A main. Why not just hit this site over and over when MIBR cannot find the solution?
Are we really looking at another 9-3? Second node with Dimensional Drift going into the last round of the half. Scary prospect.
I feel like we really need to see MIBR stopping this effort to anchor the site against how Sentinels are hitting it. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work with the comp that they have. There's too much to deal with. It's too oppressive. They have to play for a moment where they can draw all the util out and fast flood together with the double duelist, get in and fight them after the fact.
We saw it on Pearl though. Situations where they played off the site, played for retake, it got so dicey. And it's far from guaranteed. There's too much util that can be layered, staggered out that keeps them off the defuse.
It's about finding the flood moments between needing to get the defuse at the last second and trying to anchor or fight too early when you're getting hit by the barrage.
That's a slim window, Wyatt.
I like this position from Ospas. He's playing safer towards screens, and now Sentinels, they're pivoting. Dimensional Drift again. Has won so many rounds, countless rounds for SEN. All of the information gained. They're winning, trying to just get right in this B site.
He's deeper than the Marianas Trench in this backline of MIBR. Here we go, straight onto the B site, swarming over it. However, Cortesia able to hold his ground, but is it enough? Awkward for Zelsis there. A lot of smoke play in that B-heaven position. It's an even game in the post plant.
Trailblazers getting a lot of close information. Bang. Able to destroy it, not without being spotted out on default there.
John had to B main. Great timing there from Second. John's now got to get involved. He's satisfied that there's nobody coming from behind. Aspas forced away, stunned out by the special delivery. Teo Util getting value. Still a 2 versus 2 though when John reveals the weapon he's holding. He needs a swing here from Second, but the Cloudburst breaks it up beautifully. Clever from Aspas. Now it's up to Nozwa. Second finds 4. And Senna laying it on thick.
He's just too good. He's just incredible when it comes to playing the Yoru on this map. The timings he takes on the swings there at the very end. It's lovely. Don't let this man play in the back of B. He controls this side of the map. This is his, it's just, those are his angles. Stay away from his angles on B.
It's looking scary. Aspas had the Cloudburst to make him 1v1s, but Zekin is more than happy to take the 1v2.
I don't give a damn how good MIBR are on attack. 2 rounds will not be enough. They need to find something here.
I mean,
their hope is to just stack this site with even more players. 3 entrenched on A.
Aspas is on the blade storm. Artine has no armor. And he's hit by some of that util. Oh no! Oh man, that is brutal stuff. What an odd snakebite location. Aspas though.
Oh, even traded out on that. Everything is just perfect for SEN.
How about this? Flash for Nozwa. He sees Narrate coming, and SEN might consider pulling out of this no Armageddon. They're going to commit to this A side, and Nozwa's all about it. It's up to Shannon. Sees John go across. Spike goes loose. Zekin steps up. Can he save it? Again, no! It's another 9-3. 4 maps in a row. SEN have a 6-round lead heading into the halftime break.
Can't put enough emphasis on how crucial getting just a 3rd round there is for the MIBR side. Shenham has been a little bit quiet up until this point. Frankly, all of MIBR have been. They have not had moments to shine. It was him who brought them back on Pearl when they were down and out in that second half. He ran it all the way back. New addition to VCT Americas, and he has looked so damn good.
3 rounds is the staging ground for MIBR. They have to hope it's going to be enough to force this to a 5th and final map. Stick around for the conclusion of Split after this. once again, in order to have any hope of featuring a Masters Bangkok, this MIBR team with their best early season showing we've seen, are going to have to come back from a 6-round deficit at halftime. They go to the attack side on split, a side where their comp is probably a bit better, but it was still a lackluster start.
This is absolutely where they're favored. Were 3 rounds enough? They brought it back on Pearl. They have to do it again. This Sentinels team, they're looking to make another Masters event, just as they did at the beginning of last year. They are so close to the finish line. Can MIBR deny them again and bring this to map 5?
Off the rip, it's a heavy A presence here for the predominantly Brazilian squad. I think Zelsa sees a little bit of that, and Zekin is not quite ready for this. Aspas, though, is brought down. It will be the rest of MIBR slowed right on up. They're stuck behind this fight for util. The rate, though, is right there with a right click. And a cheeky grin for him as he's cut MIBR down to 2.
Narrate's positioning on this map, attack and defense now so far, has just been sublime. He is in all of the right locations all the time. The way he presses forward there and alleviates the pressure that was on Zelsis by getting up close, tucking hell.
Cortesia thinking of a different type of tucking hell at the moment. He's in a 1v4. MIBR really desperately needed to start this half with a pistol round win. Looking down the barrel of a SEN that are eyeing off that master spot.
This is a Cortesia who said in an interview the other day that making it to Bangkok is everything. He's praying for this every day. And with him going down, the final player in the pistol, it feels like hope is almost lost for the Brazilian team that have never been able to make it this far when you're speaking about MIBR, the organization. But as a team, this is their debut, this Aspas-created roster. They are so close, but they may just come up short against a perennial America's favorite.
And it was in 2024 that Aspas was the one that opened the way for Sentinels to make it to champions. They beat Crew on that Leviathan roster. Now he's the one that stands in their way from this global event. But they might just blow right past him.
SEN not repaying that favor whatsoever here. It's a fast MIBR in. They've forced into this with stingers. Narrate shuts down the first. Aspas removed.
He's feeling himself. The second with the classic cleans up. And it's a grim tale told by the minimap here for MIBR. Shenom again, the one to stand up. And the going gets tough. But there's a long climb still from here. Spike would be headed in the B direction potentially, but MIBR have no information about the rest of the map. The fog of war is thick.
They could try to pivot to B if they want. The stealth drone does get the info on Noswar, and off that they said, yeah, let's get the hell out of here to the B site. And SEN, they don't care. Go ahead, have fun planting the spike, getting your pathetic little credits. We're just gonna retake 4v2. We are gonna close this game out. We're going to the finals. We're gonna get some revenge on G2. We haven't spoke about it much, but at this point as well, you know, going back to what you said about Aspas, the champions' points matter a lot right now as well. These early wins and losses.
Yeah, it gives you a huge leg up, lets you falter, stumble later in the year potentially. I mean, God, Sentinels did so much with that Madrid win.
Great timing from Noswar, tucks away.
Here come more. Clone out first though, Shenom as well. Decent angle for this. Hang about, folks. A glimmer of life still here for MIBR. A scent of hope. But it's on the veteran Noswar. It's John down, Narrate with it all to do, and with very little time to do it.
Such little time. He's trying to wrap around Noswar. The movement! He can't be allowed to get that! Narrate feeling the pressure of the clock, has to go for the swing. The flick spray down from Noswar.
That is a USDA Prime free range 2v4 thrifty. Cage free, of course.
Shots from Shenom as well. That swing with the Sheriff. Outrageous. They're staying in the game. We're not done yet.
You've got to keep your composure.
Surely they don't run it back like they did on Pearl.
Again.
Surely not.
A drip becomes a trickle of flood. SEN have to block the dam up now.
I was ready to steam my suit for the funeral. We're not there quite yet. How did they win that off the force into the 2v4?
I mean, I don't believe you because you'd never wear a suit.
I don't even own one.
Yeah.
I'd rent one though.
Nice try though.
I'd be at the MIBR funeral.
Okay. Obviously not much to buy in here for Sentinels. Now Wraither was able to find one on Zenom there. Caught in that corner. Subjected, of course, to that aftershock. Still no gun recovered, though, by Sen.
They may attempt to off the stealth drone now, re-clearing B main. You can see on the minimap that John just threw that one out there. Gets a lot of info for a proactive Zelsis as a slowing orange over to the A side. The Bucky.
Is that the person you want to give a rifle to? Thanks for coming. All quiet for now, though, is MIBR trending over, but Zelsis is hot on the heels. Aspas, though, has a 6 sensor in. Oh! And still Zelsis wins it out, and now he contains them. This is by no means a sure thing for MIBR. They've been cut down to 2.
All of that good work from the previous round is just going up in smoke.
The scaffolding, the foundations laid by MIBR are showing some cracks. The earthquake that is Sen, rattling them to the core. They've got a Bulldog and a Vandal to work with here. And in the dying seconds of the round, they're headed over to B, but someone's going to be waiting. John hears it. Hears him cross.
He only has a classic, though, so he's not going to get active. Just waiting for his teammates on the rotate. Nosfor in another 2v4. Can he do it again?
But he can convey the post-plant positions based on what he hears to the rest of his team.
MIBR have set up a crossfire here. Is that enough to win this out?
They've got better weapons. Artazine probably just wants to take raw fights here if he can. And hope that Noswa can cover his crossfire. Narrate setting up, though.
John just got his missiles back, was waiting for the cycle, and now they're going to hit the go button.
None of them know what Artazine. He's fine where he's standing. I don't know if they're going to be ready for that spot. They see him now. It's a matter of double swinging in this Artazine position, but Noswa threatened to unravel them. What a ridiculous sequence of play. MIBR have to win yet another 2v4. The first time, fine. The second time, you're dreaming.
And sadly, we've gone back-to-back for MIBR in Ecos. That was their chance to get back in control of this half, build up the economy a little bit, try and make the comeback a reality. It begins with his kill from Osboss, unfortunately trade with the aftershock, sure. But Cortezio really just wanted to try and find advanced space for the rest of the team to work off, and he gets punished for that, regretting not just playing that at a slower pace, waiting for the rest of them. And again, MIBR, they're forcing. They don't want this to go to OT again. We're not getting 40 rounds. They want to end this in regular time. Run it all the way back.
It's a risk, though, make no mistake. They will force and force. Sentinels, though, are well equipped. And they might just want it more.
A drone is going to see Cortezia. That was over on the A side, but the majority of the MIBR advancement is just working up into mid. Presence and male and vents, respectively, from the 2 duelists that they've got. Options to pivot to either site. Do they have that one on each extremity in the 1-3-1?
The standard crossfire here, of course, up to the heaven side. No Astra Star, so no smoke to break this up yet. It might just be pure contact from MIBR. Not quite a crossfire. Zelsis is looking away. Now, though, cat's out the bag. They're going to stay. It looked like a pump fake. They thought about going over towards A, and that's still an option for them. But they got rid of Zelsis.
Oh, they've gotten some really important utility pieces out of Sentinels, now pivoting to A. This is great calling, but they have to deal with Zekin, who has just been a force on this map, determined to win it for Sen.
He's ahead of the paint shell and might try and catch this stagger timing. It's Aspas down first. Cut the head off the Hydra. But there's more to be dealt with. Zekin with the dimensional drift, he just earned it. He sees it all, and he's able to get out of the sight to safety.
You should even spot. Yeah, Jenom
That's
up
huge.
here on the flank.
Jenom realizes he's been spotted out. He cannot control heaven. Center set up for a flood. They've got a flash. They've got a stun from John. And a fall line to work with. Artazine tried to get ahead of it. I like the idea, but it ends up being a trade. It's down to Cortezia and Zenom. The latter, who's not quite back in heaven just yet. And Cortezia has to stand tall. It's a great opener. The odds are even. MIBR, this round is worth so much, and Cortezia doesn't let him down. He's 1 health. 1 health. And Zekin, frankly, doesn't have the time to do all of this.
They've done it.
He's out of there!
Again on the forced buy. Jenom acquires a rifle at the very end. That was just a great pivot from MIBR. Masterful round. Pressuring towards B, they extracted all of the utility in this moment. Zelsis baited into the peak, shut down, and then we just pivot right back to A, where we had that one on the extremity, gaining some space.
That moment with Artazine pushing up. Mimi mentioned the iPad baby comp. That's very complex, right? They're spending all this time getting everything in place, and there's a window there where iRezen can get up and punish them.
Absolutely. Now, SEN, they're forced onto the eco. They have a couple decent weapons to try to turn the tide, and that aggressive Q2 play towards A. That instills a whole lot of fear in MIBR. You have to be concerned that at any point, SEN will spring a trap with that fault line, send all the damage utility at you. But they circumvent it this time.
iRezen has got himself pretty far forward up mid. That's the trade-off for SEN playing so far forward on this A extremity. But John is mindful of this.
Artson has been inserted into vents right now, so an A split is in the works. MIBR are trying to cook it up and get the players into the proper positions. Here comes Ospas dashing forward.
No one's on the side.
Engagement when the orb drops.
And they've got Ramsey. Oh, bang. Doesn't favor him. Beautifully done by Noswa there to catch him unawares. John trades it out.
Oh, I was going to see if Shannon was just going to wait to his vent, but no, he's going to gather up with the rest of the team, get in heaven. 40 seconds on the clock. John doesn't have the missiles at the moment, so there's a timing window for them to try and get the spike down, unperturbed by all of the SEN utility. Oh my god,
Rolling
Rolling
Thunder?
Thunder committed, they're spilling out of screens.
Noswa stuck out in the open, but no one's checking the corner. He got a freebie. And it was just the drone otherwise. Noswa knows his time is short. He needs to go for a plant here, but they're going to get cut down. Could Tessia and Noswa do it? It's up to Zelsis again. And where might he be? Playing with nothing but a classic. And MIBR, scratch and claw, rip and tear. Round by round, they stay alive.
It's all smiles coming away from that round. They've even gotten a Rolling Thunder out of Narrate, committing it to try and just end the game there. But the Brazilian side are able to just back up into more safe positions, aside from Noswa, who was caught but unchecked in that heaven plant spot.
Say it ain't happening again. Ridiculous.
Surely not. Surely they don't run it back again. Oh my god, now this is the pace they like to play out with the double duelist. I'll tell you, that rocket fired off, but it just doesn't connect.
Second got out, just in case there was a rocket to me. The gate crash gets him away from the fight. Aspas is in there though. They know it. He gets spammed down. Another great start around for SEN, but there hasn't been enough in the last couple.
That is absolutely the swiftness that MIBR like to enact on this attack side.
It's
the double
utterly
duelist.
anticipated though.
Artson is so fast with the double satchels, but yeah, it is just completely nullified. Zelsis on the angle, force back. Spray from Shannon.
It's pretty deep here up into heaven. Second and John expecting a push their way. They're going to be smoked off. I like this. Some stall here. Shannon now left alone as there was no choice for Noswa but to get away from those salvos. And Cortesia, man, has been so huge. That's going to be sniffed out though. He'll be snuffed out instead, and it's Noswa. This is SEN looking to get to 12 rounds to match point.
The mid-round has been a slow dismantling of Made in Brazil. Noswa alone. 30 seconds. Perhaps can get this 1v1 win against John. That's his only hope.
And from there, we'll have to get through 3 more Sentinels players. 3 players just as hungry for this, and John's heard everything. Noswa's going to come his way, and John will bide his time. Oh my
God,
goodness!
wow, he read that.
There's hope yet. There will be a plant. Noswa gets it down, and now the pressure will start to mount.
Some weak players on SEN.
He turned the flash, 2 players up in heaven. Noswa sees one. Narrate gets ahead of it. Eventually, Sentinels overwhelmed. It's anything but pretty.
Just a millisecond away from being able to path out of the sightline from the heaven swing. Desperately wanted to evade and then try and isolate another 1v1 by jumping out of the way with the knife out, but Zelsis is too quick. He has been lights out, 4 maps straight. And he wants to seal the deal.
Oh, Aspas completely caught there. They tried to go for that fast play. Cortesia and Chenham, in the most important game of their career, have stood tall. But this might be it, the last gasp. Sentinels get to match point.
This is just a tenured Sentinels core that has so much experience in these high-pressure games together against this newly built MIBR roster that has made a hell of a run, but it might just end here.
Not if they have something to say about it. Cosmic Divide here, thrown back towards screens, going to force Narrate to stay into the site. Up ramp they go, they avoid that aftershock, and look how deep Artisan is. Refusing to get on the other side of that wall. He's just getting ahead of Zekin. This surely is going to get the better of him. Surely! And it does. Are they ready for Artisan? No, they are not! John with the Armageddon, but he gets caught out of Nozwa. Mows him down. Well, Bang. I think we're done for the round, don't you?
Oh, what an insane timing from Artisan playing around the Cosmic Divide. That is so sick.
And stop me if you've heard this one before. But there's a Viper's Pit, there's a Blade Storm coming up, there's still these impactful ultimates that MIBR can use to slide these rounds in their favor, and have a look at the money on Sentinels.
If they kill Bang right now on the hunt, which, look, MIBR, they don't really want to lose any weapons themselves at this point. The economy isn't great, so it can negatively impact the buy on the subsequent round. But it is far more dire for SEN.
By the looks of things, it's going to be 3 rifles for SEN if they want to make that investment. 2 if they want to be more conservative. Another hard-fought round here for MIBR. And it all off the back of Artisan getting deep, playing around that Cosmic Divide, catching Zekin unaware.
And those are the rounds that have really impressed when you're speaking about MIBR's split play so far in Kickoff. It's all about Artisan getting into these really forward positions where you're just not playing against other Raze players doing that. And he catches you off guard.
SEN timeout here. Another round, another situation where one of these heavy util initiators has that util out in their hands when they need to be fighting with their weapon. This is definitely one of the most obvious weaknesses of this Sentinels comp. Breach obviously has that issue as well.
Kaplan is ready to put this game to bed. This has been absolutely a marathon, nowhere near a sprint. Despite some of these maps being dominant for SEN, my God, did Pearl extend the runtime of this 100th episode of the VCT.
Yeah, we're here to pack that extra value into today's show for you folks. And again, yeah, MIBR have got to be pleased taking 4 of the last 6 rounds out of the game, but with SEN at the precipice of victory.
We get one more map. That is absolutely the extended edition director's cut. It never felt like it should have even gotten this far.
That is the Snyder cut of VCT Americas. Round number 20 coming at you. And again for SEN, not much to work with weapon-wise. Bang kept the rifle, hands it over to Zekin. Getting close to that dimensional drift.
Yeah, that's a key element to keep your eye on in this round. Can he find a kill, or will he just pick up this orb? Very clearly, Sentinels would love to get control of this space for the A orb. I mean, hell, they might even be able to find a kill here with the utility.
I like it from Zekin, but it's a little dangerous. Artisan did cop a stray bullet or 2, but they're just glancing blows, and it'll be topped up mostly.
Essentially just down to a light armor as he takes that space up in a ramp. Boombot
Gets ahead of it.
past Zekin. This is a sick timing.
Artisan, is he checking for this? No, there's no way you're ready for that. And so, the young IGL for MIBR takes a backseat for this match point round. And Zelsis here looks to protect the B side with the Viper's Pit. What are the options for MIBR? It looks like they feel like they've got no choice to jump into the fog.
The Trailblazer got a stun. They have to locate Zelsis within the pit.
Shed him down. Bang's been able to deal with him. Aspas has to dive in. There's no other choice. Bang materializes. He appears, but Zelsis is going to be trading it out. Cortesia, the shorty, it's not enough. He pulls up empty-handed. Signed, sealed, delivered. It wouldn't be a Masters event without SEN City in attendance.
It's on the eco round out of the Kaplan timeout. The stress can end for him after that series. They've done it again, back-to-back years. They're going to be at the first Masters. They're going to have another crack at G2 in the grand finals, who have been unstoppable so far. But the history continues of the Sentinels org just always beating MIBR. Though this new roster, obviously, a massive difference from what we've seen in the past. This Aspas-led team with the young players from Challengers who really did show out. Shannon was phenomenal today. Really stepped up to get that map win on Pearl. You have to give a lot of respect to this new squad for making it this deep in the bracket with the heavy hitters that we've got in Americas this year. But Sentinels, the favorite, we expect them to be in a tournament like Masters, and they've done it. The new additions, Bang and Narrate, living up to the hype.
What a marathon. The longest map in VCT Americas history. 40 rounds or more. It's actually close to the longest official match of Valorant we've ever seen. That was Gen G TSM back to 2020.
To take it back to what Narrate said in a little interview for the content piece before this even started, on Osbus, you want to play against the best player in the world. You want to dethrone him. They've done that today. Narrate played a fantastic series. Such an intelligent player, but as I said, at some point on Split, when you're walking away from this and you're thinking about the MVP, you're not speaking about anyone but Zelsis. In terms of the kills he got across the series, the aim was razor sharp, and his utility usage was sublime and significantly better than we had seen compared to some of the other series in Kickoff earlier, especially against G2. What a bounce back. This team looked electric today.
And once again, this time not by choice, Aspas must give way to Sentinels as they advance to yet another global event. Masters Bangkok is sure to be electric, of course. There's still another hurdle for Sentinels to cover, and we've seen them go towards a bit more of a back-to-basics approach on some of these maps. That means that they might have something a little special for us in that series that should be really telling about the trajectory of these two teams going into the first Masters event of the year. Incredible moments here. Zelsis, again, a player who's suffered some level of criticism. More than just an emotional leader today. Someone who leads by example, leads the charge. And someone like Narrate, who got his moment, proved to himself that he deserves to be here. He deserves to be in Bangkok. And of course, we have to say goodbye to this MIBR team with an incredibly ambitious approach to the year. Aspas gets to handpick this team, and they have looked phenomenal. You touched on Shannon briefly, but Artazine has stepped into this IGL role. The cool head of Nozwa and the incredible Sentinel play of Cortazea. This team,
the new headshot machine.
It's a lot to get excited about.
Yeah, fantastic showing still from them. Heartbreaking for them. They couldn't make it further and actually qualify. But what a start to the year. You can't give enough credit to Artzin, genuinely. He is such a flexible player. He's able to get a lot of crucial kills on any role that he's playing. Sentinel, Initiator, Duelist, and on top of that, since picking up IGLing the team in the lower bracket, they went on that 4-win run, get a map off SEN, which no iteration of MIBR has been able to do in the past. You can't give enough credit to this guy for making it to this point, and you just have to be excited to see more MIBR when the year progresses into stage 1.
And in general, Brazilian Valorant is in great hands, but for now, we're going to be thinking about Sentinels and their road ahead. We're going to send it down to Riv on the stage for our Verizon post-match interview.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Great cast on the day. I'm joined by Zelsis of Sentinels moments after they lock in their Masters Bangkok ticket. Congratulations on the win. That was a hell of a match. Firstly, I mean, how good did that series feel overall? At times, you were fragging out of your mind, outdoing Aspas. It looked like nobody could touch you.
I mean, I did say I would try and break his kill record, and I feel like, you know, if we played a couple more maps, I would have gotten close, but no, I mean, I played really well today, but honestly, like, the whole team gave a lot of energy and allowed me to focus on me, and I just shout out to my teammates that allowed me to do that. So.
Heck yeah. Do you have a favorite moment from today? Maybe an ace on this guy? What do you got?
I mean, it would probably be the ace on this guy,
okay.
Lotus, so shout out Razor, Sentinels Viper V3.
I talked to Kaplan earlier today, and he said the team was struggling a bit on stage. What kind of did you do to repair those gaps and make sure stage wasn't where you were failing?
I just think we're a little younger than we were before, and we need to get more matches under our belt, a little bit more losses, to be honest, as hard as losses are. Losses teach you a lot. I think the biggest thing for us is not the talent, it's the mental, and we've been working on it as much as we could. And like I said today, the guys really pulled through. They showed up a lot, and yeah, it's like the main thing for us.
That's awesome. Is there like anybody stand out in that kind of picking everybody up?
I would have to give my special shout out to Narrate, to be honest.
Okay.
He has been a phenomenal teammate, especially in the roles he's playing and giving his all. So Narrate's my MVP for the vibes today.
Awesome, awesome. Next question is about rounds. Obviously, you had a 40-round game here. Your last series against G2 was 40 rounds for the series. How do you prepare for an endurance match? How do you keep playing at a high level? You hardly have a chance to do this because it only happens once in a great while.
I mean, you need to eat your veggies, kids. That's number one. Because, hey, I'm up there. Y'all call me Unk, but I'm still going BO5s all day, so.
All right, a few more questions before we toss some games on the analyst desk I got for you. The Sentinels is always fighting for the top, no matter changes coming in the team. What is the culture like there that continues to create this pedigree where you guys are at the top?
I think when I joined last year, we really wanted to focus on being like a brotherhood, like a family. You spend all day together. You don't want to hate each other, or despise each other, whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you have gripes, like with your siblings, you just say it, and it's all love at the end of the day. That's what we're building here last year. We're continuing with these guys, and they're buying into it as well. So I mean, it's just a good culture to have, especially when you're just trying to win and everyone understands that. So.
Awesome, awesome. And final question for you. We're going to throw some stuff out here while we do this. Thank you very much. G2 has your number, it has seemed, in recent days. What's it going to be? What are you guys going to do? What's the solve? What's the plan to make sure this next series is Sentinels?
I mean, G2 definitely thinks they're the best in the world, and maybe they are, but I think, I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think we beat G2 tomorrow?
It sounds like a pretty resounding result. Thank you so much, Celsius, for the interview. We are going to be, keep throwing. We're going all the time. We're going to be throwing to the analyst desk. We got some games to break down. I believe we got Zekin and Kaplan. Don't go anywhere.
That's right, we absolutely do. Welcome to Match Point. I'm here with Zekin, and before we chat, we're going to break the ice with a game of Stick It, and I need to get into position as well. Listen, I got to get into position to plant this spike as well. Zekin, you are going to attempt to defuse this spike as close to 0 as possible before it exploding and blowing up everything, okay? That is the plan. I'm going to stick it right now. We're going to get started. You got a little bit of time. You got the headphones on. We were talking about it before we even got started with this. He's got a strat. He's got a strategy with this. He's already got half on the spike, by the way.
And you can see the score as well, Brent.
Yeah, there's a score.
The scoreboard?
The leaderboards?
The leaderboard, yeah.
The leaderboards? I'm supposed to talk about the leaderboards as well. I can't see the leaderboards, but there were leaderboards up there, and they're going to be competing for it. I don't know what the time is ticking. I mean, maybe, should I even be talking about this?
No, you got it.
You should.
Am I distracting you?
Yes, distract him,
Distract him? I don't want to overstep my boundaries here.
No, overstep. That's the point of the game.
He's been locked in for hours. Listen.
Doesn't matter. We're trying to screw him up on this game, Brennan.
All right. The time is ticking, though. It's already on half.
To be fair.
The bubble's shrinking.
The circle's out.
0.61? What? 0.61? What's the leaderboard? Where does that land?
That's number 1.
That's number 1?
You must cultivate a
He's the winner!
That's it? He's the winner? All right. Good job, Zach. Good job. All right. Dude, that's crazy. All right, go sit down. Go get it.
Come over here.
Yep.
Holy crap.
Nothing but wins today.
Thanks, man.
Dude, you're just winning today, brother.
I'm 2 for 2.
Moly, it's so good. Congratulations, fellas.
Thank you.
And of course, welcome to Match Point, everyone here. Of course, joined by Zekin, who you just saw dominate Stick It, and the one and only Coach Kaplan to talk about what we just saw. And how are you feeling like energy-wise? Because that right there, 40 rounds of play is exhausting, and then you had to go into a game 4 there, win that one outright. How you feeling, buddy?
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
If it went map 5, I would have been good for map 5. I could have re-upped a little bit of caffeine and been good, but at
The
end-
adrenaline's coming down.
Yeah, the
now.
adrenaline's coming down. I'm definitely pretty gassed.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, you know, I'm sure in that moment you're watching a 40-rounder happen, Kaplan.
Yeah.
The adrenaline's going pretty high for you as well. At that point, help the fans understand, as a coach and for the players in there, what are you aiming for at this point? Is it just like, hey, just try and get picks? Are you guys trying to play some strategies? What are you trying to implement there when you're going that deep into a game?
Yeah, it's pretty hard. Like, you know, there's a lot of like conditioning on what you've been doing, and it's really hard to hold on to that. I think we're just trying to basically just come up with ideas, gimmicks out of nowhere that we just think will get us around. Like
Even on the fly, like,
I think even before OT, like we're running a defense setup. We've never talked about it. We've never cooked it up. We just call time and we're like, I think this would work. Let's try it. I mean, just trying to grab at straws, to be honest.
What was it about this MIBR team that you found yourself in that situation to begin with?
To be honest, I think it's more about us than anything. We were really in control all series, and
it went 9-3 into the half, I believe.
Yeah, I think, you know, we're obviously finding our groove, figuring out how to be a team on stage. It's not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
You know, I think I don't want to speak for you, Zach, or anyone on the team, but I think we just got a little excited to close it out. We're up, and hey, oh my God, Tyler,
stuff happens
right there. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It happens, right?
Yeah.
In that moment, who in the comms were being like the most vocal to kind of keep the team focused? Because I could see how that would be like very, frustrating, right, in the moment, especially with round after round and going so high.
Definitely Amin. I mean, he's calling round to round, so he's already going to be talking a lot. But
Yeah.
he definitely was a good leader today, trying to calm us down, keep us calming correctly, not freaking out when we're that close to winning or losing in OT. So I would say definitely Amin, and then Zelsis, I mean, he always does it.
Yeah.
But yeah, those two.
So now coming off of the G2 loss, and I know you guys were frustrated with that. I've been knowing y'all for a while, so I guess I can see it on your faces. What is it about the team, in your opinion, when you went into the server with them, that you guys felt was the biggest challenge to have to overcome going up against them?
You want to go first?
You got that. You got it.
I think we just made too many mistakes. Map 1, Abyss, we started slow. I think we went down 0-4. And then we just kept making kind of mistake after mistake on defense, and they really took advantage of it. And then by the time it was map 2, we were already pretty demoralized, and it's kind of tough to come back from that, especially when we were playing pretty poorly in map 1. I think going into the next one, if we're just clean from the start and doing our fundamental things right, then we'll be in a much better position than we were last time.
One more for you, Cap.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, G2 are an incredible team, and we were definitely all really angry. Not really, I think, about the loss yesterday as much as how we lost. Abyss defense was a bumpy start. A lot of that's on me too. That didn't go how we wanted, but I think we did a pretty poor job finding our groove and our energy and our confidence after that. We went into Pearl and we had plans and we were in good spots, but we were just we weren't flowing as a team. We weren't connected anymore. The morale was really low, and that's something we set out to. Zach's absolutely right. We need to start hot, but I think going from frankly, we probably all feel like we kind of choked that Pearl today. Going from that to how well the split
went. Because I was worried about split, honestly. Their double duelist composition was quite good, and you guys just were ready for it. So it paid off. And now look, you're going to Bangkok, bro. Are you excited?
Oh, I'm excited. I can't wait.
Yeah, have you ever been?
No, I've never been.
Okay, we got to get some pad thai, maybe a couple teas. What's up with you? Have you ever been?
I'm pumped. Yeah, I went to Bangkok with my wife. It was our first vacation together. We went for 3 weeks.
Shot.
We went to Bangkok and Chiang Mai.
Me and my wife's second vacation together.
Nice.
So look at that. That's awesome, Matt. Wait, well, I think you guys are going to have a great time out there, but job's not done yet. Still got one more game to do. You excited for tomorrow just to get another shot at revenge?
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, I love BO5s, and the opportunity of getting revenge is always nice, so I'm just really excited.
And should we expect you to just go into like a coma for the next couple of hours until you have to play again?
Yeah, I'm gonna go home and just lay in bed and do nothing for the next.
And just be on your phone probably until
either
it
on my phone or
face.
asleep, one of the two.
All right, hey, well, Zekin, I want to appreciate you, brother Kaplan. Always a pleasure chatting with you as well. Guys, congratulations on making it to Bangkok. As we said before, job's not done. You got another big match tomorrow against G2, and we all can't wait to see it. Well, that's it, folks. Day 11 of Kickoff coming to an end. We got our final 2. Let's take a look at the bracket to see where we are. It's G2 and Sentinels. Truly couldn't have ended any other way. We're going to get to see them run it back from that winner bracket final. What a competition this has been. Jeez. Would you say that this has been one of the hardest tournaments, or like if you had to scale it or compare it to any of the other tournaments you had done in the past, or how do you feel?
I think last kickoff, I think we got knocked into lowers a bit earlier. So I think that one was a bit more difficult of a run because we had a nice winners run. We won 2 matches in winners, but this one's definitely pretty tough as well. Yeah,
seems tough, man. Well, you guys have been killing it, and it's showing in the results. Top 2 going to Bangkok, folks. We have settled our 2 squads. It's G2 and Sentinels that are going to be representing the Americas region going in to Masters Bangkok. And that's going to do it for us here today. Darn right. And we are going to leave you with our Samsung SSD fast replay. Fellas, give them the hot salute on the way out. Take care, everyone. See you tomorrow.
It's Masters Bangkok qualification. For the other, it's the end of the line here in Kickoff. Sentinels, their classic brand of heroism yesterday, fell flat. Here's another hero team for you. MIBR are ready to throw down.
Put MIBR on this weak buy on this C hit.
Great razor bite. That's dirty stuff. Zelsis chokes them out. A regular Poison Ivy performance out here. And one of the criticisms of leverage that Zelsis. We'll get to that in just a second. Your iBuyPower race, folks. Self is to be forced away by all of this util when he stands his ground. Shenop is there up in the corner. Taskmaster's left. Dishing it out.
Trying to serve as a distraction.
Oh, there it is. It's Narrate again that's able to salvage things for Sen. Narrate has to pull off that angle. 7 bullets left to work with. That's one. Has to save this for MIBR, but Narrate is quiet about it. Real Narrate, he's a bloody main character. Now forced into a retake. Second, got to hold his nerve here. Aspers down to 4, man. This has not worked at all. Let's go. Artazine just walks into that one. Look at this. Sentinels are brimming with self-belief. Oh my goodness. Aspers sat down.
Another lights out map.
Now it's up to John QT. Time short, health low, and here he comes with a shotty. That is stunning. The Red Bull clutch for John, but there's no backup for Cortesia.
At least gets that tree.
Into the breach he goes. Another 1-for-1. Aspers misses the shot. Steel Garden active. Shorty goes to work. Aspers shuts him down. You better get up early. You're going to come with the king like that. Cortesia strikes back with a vengeance. Narrate. Does he have time?
God knows where right
Cortesia's
now.
alone. Aspers, what are you doing? You're too late. And Sen again have even the game. Got a mustard in the kitchen with a candlestick. It's John who finds Aspers. 2 left for Sentinels and they're going to push through. It's all one of the kills. He gives up the ghost.
It's finally done, MIBR. The longest game in America's history. They've taken it down 2-0 in maps in the series. We're not done yet.
Go straight onto the B side, swarming over it.
Not without being spotted out on default, though.
John has the B main. Great timing there from Zekken. Needs a swing here from Zekken, but the Cloudburst breaks it up beautifully. Clever from Aspers. Now it's up to Noswa. Zekken finds 4. And Senna laying it on thick. God, Sentinels did so much with that Madrid win.
Great timing from Nos.
Then it's on the veteran Noswa. John down, Narrate with it all to do.
Such little time. He's trying to wrap around Nos with a move. He can't be allowed to get that.
Artazine, is he checking for this? No, there's no way you're ready for that. Delsis is going to be trading it out. Cortesia, the shorty, it's not enough. He pulls up empty-handed. Signed, sealed, delivered. It wouldn't be a Masters event without Sen City in attendance.
They've done it again. Back-to-back years. They're going to be at the first Masters.